Hi, Sharon. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. Did you do the workout?
Yes, I did.
Look how pretty Kathy looks. She didn't do the workout.
Hi, Sharon.
Not
Good
with those
morning.
hoops in. Not with those hoops in. She didn't work out.
I did 3 this week. I'm so happy.
Way to go. Way to go. It's awesome.
You go, girlfriend.
What's up, Caitlin? What's up, Miss Christina? Wow, Leslie's joining us. Hey, Sandy, did Joel make his margaritas already?
Yeah, for later today.
I just mean the blender. Is he done?
Oh yeah, but I made my shake.
Hold on. I'll send it. It's coming.
Look at Leslie. She's got
Good morning.
both Leslies. Whoa.
Ellen Pepper.
Good morning, guys.
Aww.
Hey, Laura, is that lawnmower in the background? Can you hear that on my side or no?
No.
Cool. What's up? What's up, y'all? Who did the workout this morning?
I'm taking her to the hospital.
Did Mickey remember to guilt you guys into coming in this morning?
Yes.
This is probably the last one for 2 weeks. Or a week, I guess. All right, all right.
Excited for you, Derek.
Yeah, they're coming in.
They're not.
Who said that? Who said those things? Sandy.
What?
You know how you like Ninja Target gift registry us? And somebody else did the same thing yesterday, and somehow the bag that you got didn't come off the registry because I got another one.
Kidding.
The tags are still on the new one though, so it's going back for store credit.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need 2 of them.
Yeah, well, we have 2. That would have been a third. So yeah, that was my manly one. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Leslie, this is for you. He's eating for 2. I'm drinking for 3. Oh, and actually, speaking of her, I think she's coming on right now. All right, what time we got? I'm ready. Let's go. All right, guys. So new week, new changes. Of course, all sorts of things happen. I feel like every 7 days from when we talk. Yeah, guys, I'll quick mute, and obviously just unmute yourselves if you guys want to jump in. Mute. Oh, cool. All right, for those of you who have not joined us, which looks like, well, maybe Megan, Leslie. I think that's it. Everybody else is a returner. But guys, unmute yourselves at any time. This is all, you know, Q&A and engagement, but sometimes the background noise gets the best of us. Sandy will tell you. Sandy logged off last week because the blender was rolling. Anyway, so new week, new things. Like we got the announcement yesterday that gyms are allowed to open. It basically sounded like no restrictions. Everything sounded amazing. And of course, now you're starting to see today, it says 50% restrictions and all this other stuff. So we're letting everything kind of play out because like if you watched the press conference yesterday, there was no mention of any type of limitations. It was like, no, I trust them. They're good. Outdoor gyms, CrossFits, they're great. And then you read everything this morning, it says 50%. So we're working on it. I'm actually typing up an email in the background right now. But what we've done is at the facility, we've laid it out. So there's like 6 by 6 squares. Well, we have to still tape them off, but we've measured everything out. But basically we'll have 18 squares in the gym. Each section will have your own mat, your own spray bottle, towel, dumbbell, kettles, depending on the workout, a tire. We ordered 18 new jump ropes that don't have like foam handles. Pretty much anything that can be sanitized quick and easily. So we'll be ready to roll, but we just need a couple more days. Of course, the timing of all this on our end is like, oh, geez. So Kathy, Nicole, Ashley, they've all been helping us so much with getting like this transition and everything going. So let's just, I guess, if anybody wants to ask questions, let's start with like gym opening. If anybody has any questions on that, unmute yourself, do the little hand raise thing on there or whatever, and we'll answer some of those questions first. All right, you guys are boring. That's really it. Laura, you got to be chomping at the bit. No one has anything to say? You guys are just ready? All right, Laura, what's up?
Is it going to be like first come, first serve, or are you going to be able to do stations out in the parking lot as well? Is that allowed?
Yeah, so what we had originally, because as of the news we had gotten a week ago, we had marked it out for 8 by 8 sections, which would have only allowed us 12 people in the gym per time. And now that they didn't say anything yesterday, we went up to like 18 stations. So once we heard the news yesterday, we're like, oh shoot, we can use the front for warm up, the inside for the workout, the back for the finisher, and people just leave out the back and like business as usual. And then of course we saw the thing this morning with like the 50%. So what we're looking at right now, what Ashley's working on is this whole week we started signing you guys into Tribe, into the check-in system. So like your attendance is starting to be logged again and all that stuff. What she's working on is getting it so everybody can log in right from their phones. So yes, you will, I don't have the exact answer for you, but yes, you're going to have to reserve your session in advance. I would say if you are a 6 a.m., 9 a.m., or 4:45er, like all those sessions average about 22 to 24 people, and with only 18 spots, like there's going to be a difference. I don't have the entire schedule, so I don't want to get too elaborate on that, but basically it's going to alternate. It'll be like you're live at 6 a.m., like in person, then like 7 we're thinking is going to be the online workout. Then we might have to move 9 a.m. to like 8 a.m. as the next in-person workout, just so they're at least all stacked together. But I don't have those complete answers. Everybody's kind of working out their schedule as far as the trainers first before we put that all out there. But I can tell you they're excited. I think Mickey and I are probably the ones you're probably not going to see as much. Nicole, same thing. But I think Rolo and Ashley are ready to start kicking some butt.
Of course.
Yeah, so the first issue we had when we tested this out, Laura, is the same link, like when you guys initially filled out your waiver and you guys put your card on file through Tribe with that like welcome email.
Oh yeah.
There was a pin in there, or you guys set your own pin, and most people don't remember them or remember setting a pin. So that's kind of been the biggest thing that we've noticed is like we can send you guys all the check-in link to actually start reserving your sessions now, but the majority of people didn't know their pin when we tested it the first day. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Yeah, because it would be really cool to reset everybody's pin to like 11111, but then you guys also have your credit cards on there too, which I don't think you can see. So like, I don't know. We just got to make sure everything's safe so everybody can get logged in there.
Can we, one more quick question. With
No problem. No one else is raising.
if there, with our, you know, like we all may have different, I don't want to call it memberships, but you know, payment or types of programs.
Yeah.
So if like one day I wanted to do the at-home workout and then because it's full, will I be able to do both? Or
Yeah, Michelle's on right now too. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing right now is like we have to like offer double the amount of sessions than we did before, which is where the logistics of it become a little tricky. But yeah, that's one thing we actually even talked about for like beyond quarantine is still keeping those online workouts going. Because I can see the Jeannies, the Kims, the Cindy Johns, the Belindas, all of them that do 6 a.m. hurrying their asses home after a finisher to jump on 7 a.m. to go do another workout. And I can easily envision that happening. So yeah, I'm really thinking that's going to continue on.
okay, cool.
What about PT?
PT, Leslie, yeah, so that would be, it's funny, we watched all gyms respond to this yesterday, and some gyms only opened up PT and no group workouts, which I think is kind of crazy. And we're doing just the opposite. So I don't know. I normally go the opposite way of everybody else, but I think to me, like everybody wants to get back together as opposed to just the smaller groups. So I don't have that answer yet either. And again, I talk out of turn, as Shelly will tell you. Shelly, I think you're muted maybe.
Am I?
Oh, there you go. I don't know. It looked like your mouth moved.
So
But what I would be looking at is like when the online workout would start. So say like Ashley starts the 7 a.m. online workout. That could be where Rolo maybe is doing his PT session off to the side because we'd still have the groups controlled. We'd have open gym space. So we don't have that worked out all the way. I think when phase 2 opens, or at least a week or two of all this going on, we'll have a lot better idea.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw in there too. I think that's why right now is kind of the guinea pig phase. That's why we're going to wait like a week and just make sure we have all our ducks in a row and then see how like boot camp and just that flow. Because obviously, as Derek says, it seems like this is, you know, obviously a little bit different. And then once we're a little bit comfortable with the flow of boot camp, then start with PT, in-person yoga. But just kind of like with Governor DeSantis, like we have our phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But yeah, the biggest thing is to focus on boot camp and the flow of that. Make sure that everybody can sign in and sign up for a workout. Make sure that everybody's getting what they want. They're in person or virtual, working out the kinks, as they say. And then hopefully sooner than later, we can start with again, and like I said, in-person yoga. So, but I also want to say too, again, I'm sure you guys are sick and tired, but just appreciate all of you and your patience and understanding. And obviously I hope it continues, especially the next couple weeks with us. And just, if things aren't perfect, you know, we're kind of figuring out as we go too. So, but that's why too, we wanted to take this upcoming week instead of opening immediately on Monday as much as we wanted to. It was just kind of logistically to try to figure out everything in, 48 hours and make sure.
They give you 48 hours and no direct answers. So yeah.
We obviously have known that we were going to open up eventually, so we have had plans in the works, but still we wanted to make sure that you guys still get the and it's not a bunch of, I don't know, just what's the word? I don't know. I'm losing.
That's kind of, I mean, what she said though is like, again, like a week ago is like, oh my gosh, how are we going to only do this? There's 12 people in the building at a time. Like, this is impossible. We're going to have like, 10 sessions throughout the day. And like, it wasn't realistic. But now with like just saying 6 feet separation and 50% capacity, like they're not going to check people's previous attendance and stuff like that. But, if we can have up to 40 in a workout or whatever, and we're having 18, I think we should be safe. Everybody has 6-foot sections, which means if you're on a far end of one, far end of another, like you could be up to 12 feet apart at one point with a minimum. I guess if you guys are both on your edges, you could be like within the 6 feet, but like, again, we can only do so much with that. So, I mean, even guys down to the stuff of like, oh my gosh, are we changing out towels after every session? Are we doing that? And it's like, so we have like all new mats ordered, all new jump ropes are coming in. Anything that you guys touch basically has been reordered. And like, we're just trying to figure out how we get a sanitizer bottle next to everything and all that stuff. So.
And it may sound like crazy, but at this point, we'd rather err on the side of caution at this point. And then obviously too, if, with seeing how things go, then, we won't have to be as strict, but we just want to make sure everybody's safe and comfortable coming into the gym. And again, too, keeping the trainers safe and comfortable as well. So.
Yeah. And that's definitely where like, yeah, that's definitely where her and I are concerned, obviously, because we have to be careful with the little baby immune system. And then Mickey, I think that's going to be the two that you're going to maybe see a little bit less of in the beginning. But Rolo and Ashley, I think, are chomping at the bit. No matter what Rolo says about his asthma or whatever he's got, like Rolo's ready to go. The other thing too, like Shelly said about the community and all that stuff, I mean, it's that we've said it enough and we can't say it enough. But yesterday I made that post about like needing sanitizer and some of this, because like that's the biggest problem all the gym owners I've talked to is they're like, oh, great, we can open and great, we have to take more sanitary precautions, but like nothing's available. But Leanne Garrison reached out. She was able to get from her supplier 4 gallons of like pumping foam hand sanitizer for us. Awesome. And then not only that, offered it, she donated 2 bottles to BCMF, 2 bottles to Choice Fitness. So like we were reaching out and, getting sanitizer to other gyms yesterday. And it was really cool that Leanne did that. And like, I mean, her company's donating it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Community coming together. I love it.
Heck yeah. Hope, what's up, dude? What you got?
This may be a stupid question, but would it help for some of us that have like our own mats and stuff, like to bring our own stuff at least, so at least
I think
have some extra stations and stuff?
Yeah, the big thing is going to be the dumbbells. So like we had this whole meeting with the staff last week on Monday, and then Wednesday we went through the whole thing. We're like, oh, this will work. And Shelly and I are talking. We're like, there's no dumbbells in the building. We're like, oh no. Like it was like we had this whole plan, and then we're like, oh, we forgot one of the most important parts. So yes, some people might need to bring their dumbbell in, but when we make the workout announcement the night before, you'll see that. It's funny, guys, some of the things that like Ashley and I have been talking about leading up to this, and then all of a sudden quarantine hit with like no notice, and like these are things that we're going to see, I think, prolonging beyond. Like one of the fears that we've always had is like, if we tell you guys what's coming for the following day, you guys normally didn't show up. So if it was like, hey, we're doing legs on Wednesday, like you guys didn't show up. Or if it's like, hey, it's deadlift day, you get half the people are like, heck yeah. And the other people are like, oh, I can't do it, my back, and forget that we've made modifications for them the other 4 years they've been with us. So like one of the things I think we're going to start continuing that is still posting the night before of what the workout is. And one of the things that we were kind of looking to do before this all started was just at the beginning of the week, making like a little meme. And like Sunday night, it would say like Monday's theme is this, Tuesday is this. So you guys could like get a glance at like what the week was going to be. But we've had mixed response on that. But I really think with this, with you guys seeing what's coming, it's helped you at least wrap your head around things and not just be like overly scared and not even try it. So I think you're going to start seeing that, like the warning of what's coming the next day.
Well, and no, just to piggyback of Hope's question is, since we can't fit everybody back into the gym, we want to make sure you guys can still keep the dumbbells, but we're probably going to ask you, like, the days that you do show up to the in-person, you may need to bring your dumbbell with you, but of course take it back with you, with just in case if you can't make it to an in-person, that you still have the equipment for the virtual workout. And I think, Hope, you asked about mats. I mean, mats, we should be okay. We just may ask you, like we said, like, bring your dumbbell today, so.
BYODB is what Mickey said. So
yes.
Everybody bring your own dumbbell.
Can come back home eventually, but we're so happy that we've been able to at least give that equipment out to everybody. And like I said, we'll have you guys keep them for as long as possible until we can all be together.
Yeah. If you guys look on any website, like, there is no dumbbells in the world left. Like, there's nothing. I saw that there's 3-pounders left at Walmart or something like that. But like that doesn't help our people. Actually, Kristen Mitchell probably bought them. She went to go grab them. Oh, I will throw them when she gets there. So guys, right now, Mickey and Ruby I patched the hole, the Kristen Mitchell hole. So they're painting right now, and there will be no more evidence of the plate throw. It's officially gone.
God.
Yeah, so that was a great question with that, Hope. Anybody else as far as like reopening stuff? So you guys will basically have it'll be a hybrid membership, in the beginning until we get, 100% open or capacity. And I'll even say even then, like, there's still some people, with compromised immune systems or family members and stuff that won't feel as comfortable. So expect the live to continue. As of right now, we're looking, it's going to be like 7 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. But one of the common things we keep hearing is if we move that to the end of the day, like the people that work late, the people that had stuff with kids and sports events, like they might be able to do a live workout if we did it like at the end of our session. So, things might be a little fluid and mobile for a little bit, but like it's right now it's here to stay.
Well, and I was going to say too, we are hoping too with virtual, regardless of, the virus or anything else, but just, we've heard so many members that go on vacation or they go out of town, or Laura, when you left us to go to Colorado for a couple months, of just having that option now for people to, if they are on vacation or out of town, or they move away, or people have family members that are like, oh my God, I want to try this. Like, we now have an option for people, to,
Caroline right there is going to be one of them. She's leaving in a week.
Worldwide, baby.
Hey, so Laura, can you make her just feel awful about leaving? Tell her how you felt every moment that you were in Colorado away from us.
It was
I'm not
because
gonna like it.
I mean, you were so nice to let me stay on the support page. But I wanted to cry every day because I'm like, I miss everybody so much. And, so Caroline, I'm so glad you'll be able to do the virtual. I think it'll be a game changer, but you're going to miss actually being here. You know that.
Oh, Caroline, what did you say though about when we have our awards party? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, I said I'm going to try to come.
Yeah.
But we have a grandchild due July 7th. So see, it's going to,
That's
there's a few things going on at home too.
So
wait, you have
though.
a life outside of Live Fit? What?
I do, just a little bit.
Listen, you can go bunk up at April's house. It's sleep, eat, live fit. Like, you're good. There's nothing else. Eat, love, pray became like, eat, sleep, live fit.
But I'm really happy that you're going to continue with the Zoom. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and Laura, you're mentioning as far as like the different plans and stuff, like we have the light plan, but I think maybe out of like the 100 and whatever, 15, 20 of you, I think there's maybe like 10 that are on the light. So it's everybody's pretty much in the masses all on the pro plan. So it kind of works out where everybody's got equal, I guess, rights to the workout. But that's the first thing we looked at. We're like, oh, can we like open this up to certain people? And it's like, it's not even possible. Like, you guys are all in the same boat. So we're like, maybe we can keep Tina Jones out of a workout, or maybe we can, no.
Well, and that's why too, we're doing only members. Like, I mean, yes, we do need to, as a business, get new clients in the door, but for right now, we want to take care of our OGs, our members, make sure that you guys can get as many in-person workouts as possible. And then hopefully too, whenever it is where we can open up to 100% capacity, then we'll be accepting new blood into the building. So
Yeah, it ended up being 7 different people reaching out once gyms were announced that we're open that wanted to come back. And I said, I'm sorry, this is just going to be for current members in the beginning. So that felt really good. Thanks for your loyalty. So I appreciate you guys. Let's get into problem solving, I guess, if we're good with all the gym stuff. Does anybody want to start this off? Does anybody have any questions for the week? We can either use the chat or if you guys want to unmute. Leslie, you're unmuted, so you might as well talk.
Leslie, it's so good to see your face.
I'm a blob.
So this is your confession this week, Leslie. What do we need to work on? And then next week we'll follow up with you.
Me, everything, anything. I just need to. All I've been doing is walk. At least I'm walking every night over a mile. But that's it.
Can you go more
it.
than a mile then if you're feeling guilty?
No, we just go faster.
Okay. Have you been able to watch any of the videos that I've been doing on the daily basis of like the tips and some of that stuff?
Yes, I have. Not all of them.
Just go back and watch yesterday's cardio one. That'll make some sense for you. But well, that's the whole point, dummy. So here's the whole idea is like, just look back to last week and just say like, okay, I think we walked 15 minutes this day, 30 minutes this day. Just get an idea, rough average of how many minutes and just beat it this week. That's all.
You know what? That challenge, I started tracking what I walk every day. I'm 3 to 5 miles a day at work. I'm like, what? No wonder I'm wiped out when I get home. And then she wants to go for another mile walk. So yeah.
Yeah, but think of that. So that was what the cardio video is all about. Is if you guys track your current daily steps. So like Tara Mills sent it to her log to me. She walks on a daily basis just in the hospital 17,500 steps. It's like her average. So like if Leslie, you are normally at 5,000 and you're like, hey, I'm going to walk 17,000 per day. I'd be like, whoa, that's huge. But if she walks 17,000, that's her maintenance to stay her weight. So like your 2 to 3 miles is your maintenance to stay your weight. And then every Magnum bar means you have to do a little more cardio. And every time you have a bad meal, it's the sum of all parts.
But no Magnum bars.
Good for you.
Weeks and weeks I haven't bought Magnum bars. That's odd.
So what if we tried to pre-exhaust? What if you did like 20 squats before you left your walk? Then you do 20 squats when you get back. That way it's just like a buy in and buy out. Like it's just something that's a little bit different. But again, it's hard to self-motivate. And like, even when we were open, Leslie, I know this last like year and a half has been a little tough. So, but it's got to start with something. So maybe that little bit will be the difference. I'm just glad you're walking because you weren't even doing that.
I posted that slide picture from 5 years ago, my first mud endeavor, whatever. And I'm like,
yes.
Oh my God, I remember loving it so much. Now I can't even imagine doing one of them. Oh.
Well, it's also now we think about it as a cesspool of germs now. Mud runs and sweaty gym mats have like two different like connotations, I guess, mentally now. Before it used to be like, look at all the sweat on that mat. Now it's going to be like, oh, look at all the sweat on that mat.
Ew, ew, ew.
Yeah. So Leslie, why don't we start with that? Like, just go back and do it right now while we're talking. I mean, you're going to hear some other answers, but like, just try and write down like Sunday, did we walk? Yes, no. Monday, did we walk? Yes, no. And just try and get an average of how many minutes for the week. And let's say it's like 90 minutes, and it's going to be more than that if you walked every day. It's going to be probably close to like 200 minutes. So like, that's not bad. But now every little bit that you can add on to that will be the difference. So like if it's 20 squats before and after, like that timing will start to ramp up. If it's an extra half mile or there's an extra block that you can go around when you finish your normal mile, maybe that's it. But
I was going to say too, am I muted?
No, you're good.
Oh, I hear you.
Nope. Hold on. Now you muted yourself.
Oh.
Okay.
I muted you.
Technical difficulties. No, like what Derek was saying too, Leslie, or maybe if you don't want to do the squats, like maybe just try walking like 5 minutes longer each day. Like something that you know isn't going to like completely be like, oh, I don't want to do that. Just something like that, or like an extra half block or down the street a little bit further and just like gain on that. I mean, you figure an extra 5 minutes a day, you know, times 5 or 6 days, like that adds up. And those are, again, the small things. Also, the fact of not eating Magnum bars, like those are the small things that really add up. And again, like I always say, like, don't discount yourself. I mean, yes, I know maybe the motivation isn't 100% there, but if you're like moving all the time at work for 8+ hours a day and you're still coming home and walking a mile every day, like that's still a lot of shit, girl. Like,
I must be channeling you guys because I do that every night when she wants, after she eats, you have to wait a while, then she wants to walk. and she'll wait till I get my tennis shoes back on.
No.
And I have to tell myself, we'll just go to the end of the block. And then we get to the end of the block. I'm like, okay, we'll just go to the end of the next block.
It's
And then
awesome.
we go on our route, but I have to keep telling myself, just one more. You can, well, now you're halfway. You might as well go all the way.
Yeah. That's
It's a
perfect.
trick.
Oh,
Make it measurable, Leslie. Like, she's got a great point, you know, and that's it. If you get your average time and like, then you all just like she said, 5 minutes, 6 days a
5
week, you have an
minutes
extra 30-minute workout that's just built into your week without having to show up an extra day. You don't have to put the tennis shoes on an extra time. Like, they're already there. You know, that's kind of it. And so think about too, like I did the finisher video this week, and not saying your work is your finisher, but like, do you still snack? Like, do you still do the popcorn on your drive home from work or no?
No,
No, that's perfect though. But
as soon as I get home.
oh, but think about this. Your blood sugar is probably at its lowest. You're probably at your most fatigued or whatever at the end of your work. If you even, before you even got Kevin, or if you just grabbed her and went, and then you had the popcorn, and then maybe you went again after dinner, that might be that one extra thing too. But remember, when you're most tired and your blood sugar is at its lowest, like that's where like you can make the most of, you know, net gains, I guess, as far as fat burning. That's possible too.
She has to eat as soon as we get home. But then she
Leslie,
has
did I ever give you your receipt?
No, I was just gonna say,
I was gonna say, seeing your face, I'm like, shoot, I messed up on her. Anyway, go ahead.
one piece of paper could get someone $250. Would you not give them that piece of paper?
I'm going to give you that piece of paper, Leslie. I'm sorry. I'm writing it down right now. There's been some other things happening. Anyway, but yeah, do you see how that, like, just a measurable, like, you're such a calculated, like, you're a detailed, structured person. Like, I think that just really helps. It's like, all right, I didn't average at 22 minutes last week every single day, so I have to do 27 today. You set your timer, and, like, you just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Anybody else? What's going on? Laura's just shaking her head. She's like, yeah, Leslie, suck it up.
Suck it up. I can hear you,
go
Laura.
do some burpees.
Go do some
Oh.
burpees.
The F word almost came out.
All right, our most consistent and our number one for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, Miss Christina. How you doing? I'll unmute you. I got you.
Doing pretty good.
Still staying on track?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And my scale was still reading the same thing, so I fixed that. I went and got a new scale.
Is that the problem? We never knew that.
No, actually, this time I went and I got a smart scale, which kind of put things into perspective for me a little bit. It read my bone mass, muscle mass, everything. And I mean, I knew I had a lot of muscle, but I didn't think I had that much muscle, which kind of helps with the whole weight thing a little bit.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, so fix that issue. Other than that, I've been keeping up with my protein and everything. And, you know, I'm a little confused with the, you know, if you want to have this every Friday night, just one night, don't, you know, if it's going to be 500 calories over, then skip out on 500 calories a different night. That part's kind of confusing because I don't understand how that would work out. Because like I was always taught, you know, like with my kids for Halloween candy, I don't let them pig out one night. They're allowed to have one piece a day. That's it.
Yep.
You know, and that's because it's better to spread it out than to bulk eat it all at once. So that to me was kind of confusing.
No, that's great. And I want to say Mary Beth was the one last week that said that she does one thing each day. I might be mistaken who that was, but no, I mean, if you have that control, like that would be a better way to do it. Like if you can do one little thing each day and it fits within your numbers, then there's zero manipulating that you have to do throughout the week. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot more math involved when you're trying to do a cheat meal in that way and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you just have a little something each day, but it's taken out of like your total numbers that you're allowed for the day, that's why tracking in MyFitnessPal is so powerful. But for the people that can't track it that well, you build safety nets like what we're talking about with the cheat meals. So no, I love what you're saying. Like you really, if you can incorporate it every day, do it. What's your favorite thing?
Mine?
Yeah.
It would be those Yasso Greek yogurt ice cream things.
The bars or the actual like pints?
The bars.
Cool.
Yeah, the pints are too much for me. I'm really not a sweets person or really a salty person.
Yeah.
So I just need a little tiny bit. And I do have one piece of dark chocolate a day, but that's only doctor recommended because I have low iron.
I do that with my 2 glasses of red wine. Yeah.
So, but I do.
I love the doctor
calculate-
recommended.
Yeah, I do calculate that into my numbers because I used to go to this place called Metabolic Meltdown when I lived in New York, and I still go when I travel back to New York. And they had a podcast about macros. And one of the trainers, she was talking about how she stopped losing weight and she couldn't figure out why. And her and the owner was going back and forth. And well, before every class she taught, she popped in a Lifesavers in her mouth, so a mint, so that her breath wouldn't smell bad. Because she's one of those ones where she got in your face and was like yelling, "Come on, you can do it, get up!" I mean, she was hilarious, but
That's
she
me.
so she didn't want her breath to smell bad, but she wasn't calculating it. And come to find out, it was like an extra 100 grams of sugar a week. So
If it was like a full Lifesaver, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
especially those white little candy ones, yeah.
yeah, so I learned that like you really do have to calculate every tiny little thing. So now before I wasn't even calculating my coconut oil. Now I'm calculating it, and I'm seeing a huge difference in my numbers. So,
Yeah, and that's where it comes in. If you're the people who have the best long-term results are the ones that can calculate their macros pretty regularly. The downside is though, is like we all live a life, so sometimes it's not always doable. But like when you're tracking them, you have to track kind of all of them, because if you're really going to try and like use that as a calculation of how much I ate, how much I lost, how much I ate, how much I lost, and then you try and make a deduction in calories, you can't be accurate if you're not counting the Lifesavers that you ate 20 times a day that each have 5 grams of sugar or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, you're right. That really adds up with those little things. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we've noticed, Shel, throughout the years of like the contest people or something. But as she was saying it, I felt like it was like such deja vu. But that happens so often, Christina. They're like, oh, I didn't know I had to count that, or oh, I didn't even think of that. So that's good.
Or my tablespoon of peanut butter is not the same as a tablespoon of peanut butter. Like a Mac Daddy tablespoon of peanut butter.
Genius hope like that one. Yeah. That's a good. So I think that's kind of it. It's like, actually, if you're going to measure, you have to measure. If you don't, you don't type of thing. So
Yeah, just to add to that, I think the biggest thing, like, it was like condiments that add up, or like
yes.
really,
Oh my God.
or that you were measuring like the actual serving size, and as much as like with Lauren, her like keeping tablespoon of really keeping it to an actual tablespoon, because those little things do add up. So
she pulls the quarter cup measuring cup out for her peanut butter scoops. But no, Christina, it's so cool to hear that. And guys, if you haven't like tried, doing macros and like using MyFitnessPal, it's Monday's video lesson. So we'll be going over that on Monday. But, it really is like play around with it. You're not going to be perfect with it. And it's a tough thing to use, but like the more you use it, even if it's like once a week, just to recalibrate your serving sizes and like measuring stuff out, make sure you know what you're doing. But like the more often you use it, the better it's going to be. It's the same, like I talked about at the beginning of the year. It's like, I would love if we would get back to like a weigh every day, flex every Friday, measure every month type of thing. But like the more times you calibrate something, the less emotional you get, but the more you can like tweak it with a quickness, I guess. But like if you're on a drive, like you're not going to check your GPS when you're like almost there and see if it's still on the right track. Like it's constantly updating, bouncing information off satellites to like, oh, now there's a traffic jam, turn left. Now there's this, go right. It's like, so it's kind of got to be the same way with your fitness. It's like the longer you go without weighing, the longer you go without measuring, the longer you go without these things, like you don't know what's happening. You have no control over it. So good job, Christina.
Did you weigh yourself every day, or should it be once a week?
If you followed anything we've said for 16 years, it's don't ever weigh yourself and fuck the scale. But, the problem is people use that as like, oh, well, I can get heavier and not have to worry about it. So some people fluffed the scale, I think, and didn't take it to the real meaning of it all. But the problem is that like when we started, it was called Slim Fit. It was just a nutrition program. And the biggest thing is like I told everybody in the beginning, at least in the first month or two, don't work out. And it's so funny thinking of that now compared to what we do. Actually, Sharon, who you can see her beautiful fan, she was one of our Slim Fit people, and she can tell you, I'm positive I told her not to work out. And it was because like the people wouldn't lose weight. And it's like they would do so well dieting, they do so well whatever. You could see that they were losing size, but we never measured. So like they would use the scale as their only gauge. So we would just tell them either don't work out or stay off the scale, but you can't do both. Like if you work out every single day and you're trying to use the scale, like you can't expect it to keep going down because it's not going to go down at the same rate as somebody who's sedentary and just eating well. Like they're going to keep losing fat, the person who's sedentary. The problem is they're not going to gain the muscle to make their body look better. They're just going to be a thinner version of their dormant self or whatever you want to call it. So Yeah, as far as weighing every day, if you can mentally handle it, it's go ahead, Sean.
I was just gonna say that's the exact same thing. Like some people can't handle that, and if like if you feel like you're gonna become like obsessive and see like, oh my god, I went up 0.7 ounces today, like don't do that to yourself. But if you really want to know the numbers and like what Derek said and like recalibrate and do that, I would suggest it's a balance. I mean, we kind of got so far away from it that now it is, I think, a good idea to introduce a scale back into your life. Maybe, not every single day, but maybe weekly or bi-weekly just to see, where you're falling. But yeah, if you can handle it, then go for it.
Yeah. So the one thing too is like, think about that. The longer you go without weighing, the less accurate it might be, and you don't know. So if you go a week or 2 weeks without weighing though, and you step on and say the day before you had a little bit more salt, you maybe drank a little bit more water before you weigh, whatever it is, like if you have any extra bit of water retention, whether it's from salt, carbs, or just fluids, like, and you're 4 pounds heavier, and really if you would have just waited like till the next morning till you peed that out and you're actually a pound lighter, like that's the thing. It's like too many people get emotional, and it's like, you can't just take like the one moment you step on the scale and that determines your whole success for the previous, 2 weeks or 1 week, but like, it's just a snapshot, guys. So, that's where I think weighing yourself more regular, it's like, wait, I was 3 pounds lighter this morning, or I was a pound lighter, it starts to give you reference of like what you ate, what it affects, what you ate, what it affects. But like, again, that's not manageable for a lot of people. Like they cannot look at that scale and like be okay with it. So Mary Beth raised her hand, which that's almost the perfect thing, because I was going to ask her and also ask Caitlin, but like, it feels freaking great when you guys have a big number of weight loss on the scale. Like Caitlin was down, I think it was like 27, 28 for 2019. Mary Beth is currently on a path going down. You're unmuted, Mary Beth. You had raised your hand.
Well, in what you're speaking of, so when we get back to the gym, when can we get measured and weighed? Can we do that with masks?
I'm pretty sure Ashley is getting so tired of you and Asmi asking when they can get measured. She doesn't want to get that close to you guys yet, so we will let you know. Every week, Ashley's like, Asmi and Mary Beth, ask me when I can get measured again. So I don't know that answer, honestly.
We could wear masks.
We're going to pin like a tape measure to the wall, and we're just going to hold back, and you have to like spin around it yourself or something. I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. We had talked about doing a video at the beginning of like how to measure yourselves at home and all that, but the biggest fear we had is like, you're gonna make your measurement like this and like catch part of a hip and part of a glute on the other side and have like, whatever. Kathy's pointing at herself. Are you the crooked one?
Use the scale at the gym to like, that'll give us our body fat and all that stuff, right?
That's exactly what Ashley was talking about, is she's going to walk everybody through how to enter their stuff or whatever. But yeah, the body fat, the hydration level, the visceral fat and muscle, like what Christina was talking about, that we'll be able to get back to a lot sooner than later. Yep. Yeah, because that's kind of it. It's like we started thinking, it's like, the big thing is we push measurements, body fat percentage, because those are the two things that like visibly you can see look different on a person when they drop. And those are the things that really we can't get that close with. So, we were talking about as a staff is like really emphasizing, pictures, your body weight and attendance. And so as like next week rolls around, that's going to be the 3 things we're really going to try and influence, is starting a new type of whatever, a challenge or accountability or whatever, but basically so everybody's kind of getting back on some sort of shtick of like, okay, we're going to take a picture every week or every other week. We're going to weigh ourselves whatever frequency. And now that we're checking attendance again, like we'll be able to actually keep track of you guys based on that, because they go hand in hand. When you show up 0 times or 1 time or 2 times, what happens, Leslie? I love how you put your head down before I even called your name. You're unmuted, Leslie. I've just left you unmuted. You're quiet.
I know.
No, but it is like your attendance goes right in line with your weight. It's like as attendance drops, the weight goes. So the big thing I'd said to somebody yesterday, I just feel like we've had so many conversations with different people, but my wish out of this whole thing is that nobody comes back to full time, like how Laura and April and whatever is like with 6 times a week and whatever. Now, Laura may be a little bit different, but my goal is that people, when we come back to this, still come in 2 times, 3 times into the facility, but they're doing 2 or 3 workouts at home on their own, so that they're there with their family, they're cooking, they're like all the things that you guys have been able to enjoy over the last, 8 weeks of like having a little more time with family, being able to cook dinners, being able to do some of these different things. Like, I don't want people to use Live Fit as their escape to not go home and avoid like real stuff going on at home, which I think sometimes we hide in the parking lot doing. But I think it would be really.
There's nothing going on when you live alone.
And that's exactly it. And so that's where Mary Beth, like, I know in the same sense, like there's people that need that as their outlet. So 100% I agree. Like Jeannie, I mean, when Rams opened, I'm sure that was like a holiday for her, you know, but it's like when you take somebody's daily schedule and you mess with it, like I totally understand the other side of that too, Mary Beth, for sure. Jeannie, I did unmute you because I thought you were saying something.
Oh, no, it was amazing. My first breakfast out was like Christmas. I'm tired of cooking. I'm tired of washing dishes. I just wanted to be out.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think there were so many people that like got to try new things, do new things. And whether you've loved this quarantine or not, like we're all going to take a little something out of it. Like I know like for a fact, like it's funny, Shelly and I were talking about some of the things that need to change. And she's like, Derek, you're already changing that already. You know, that was already in place. So that was already going on. But like, there's so many things we realize when we really step back that we don't need to be doing all this stuff. Like we overfill our schedule. So hopefully that just simplifies a little bit. Caitlin can stay home and yawn, sleep in a little bit later and just jump out of bed into a workout. I see you. But yeah, I think it really helps. I know Sharon said multiple times she's messaged me that she likes the online at home workouts. So, you know, again, my hope is that like you guys can find a balance, like live fit, like is what we've really tried to aspire for. And it doesn't mean like a gym and a Weight Wednesday and a Saturday ABCs. Like that's just a path, you know? Yes, Tina. I don't know if you can unmute, Tina. You look like you're locked on my end. Go ahead.
Where did you get this smart scale?
Great question. Christina, where did you get the smart scale?
On Amazon, and it's called, I think it's Fit Index. Let me pull it up real quick.
Can you share it in the chat possibly?
It is.
I don't use Amazon, but I'll look for one. I'll Google it.
And it was only like $38.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and like it really like gets your numbers.
Yeah. So if you can share that in the link, let me double check to make sure it's clickable. Like, and guys, she'll put that in the chat. It might pull you away from Zoom for a second, but it should just open a window in the background. You can click right back on Zoom if you're going in there. Or actually, Christina, we can share it, I guess, on the support page too.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier for me to do it that way because I only know how to do it through my phone, and I'm not on Zoom on my phone. I'm on Zoom.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So with the, you know, she talked about there's so much more muscle on her body than what she thought. That's a great point, I guess, to pick up on.
Here's my numbers.
Can you go a little closer? I see yeah, it's hard to make out. It looks like it gives you like 12 different numbers, but I really can't see what they are all the way.
It's 13. You get weight, BMI, body fat, fat-free body weight, subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, body water, skeletal muscle, muscle mass, bone mass, protein, BMR, and metabolic age.
Wow, amazing. What was your metabolic age?
36.
How old are you?
34.
Oh,
so
I always tease Mickey because Mickey's a 12 for her metabolic age. So she's got like a 30-year discrepancy on like what her actual age is to whatever. But
I gotta figure out how to fix that. I know one of them is my sleep. I mean, even with my sleep aid, I probably get 4 hours of sleep, and I know I gotta fix this.
Did your scale talk about equations of how it calculates all those things?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it goes through. When you download the app and everything, it breaks everything down for you.
Yeah, that's almost everything that scale that we use has. The only difference is like being able to have the handles. It sends, you know, through it's like 16 points as opposed to, I'm guessing it has like a toe spot and a heel spot.
Yeah.
Or something. That's cool. Yeah, even still with that, it's going up and back down to your heel. So like that's how those things work. It's sending like a little impulse through your body. So with that, you were talking about like as far as weight and muscle and some of those things. So guys, I guess it's a good time to talk about like goal weight and calories, especially since we'll talk about MyFitnessPal on Monday. But say you weigh 200 pounds and like you have 30% body fat, you know, like we look at it and we're like, oh my God, like I'm so fat, I'm so whatever. But really when you actually take like 200 pounds and 30% body fat, if you do that math, that means 60 pounds on your body is fat. But that also means 140 pounds are muscle. So it's like the muscle is what you're trying to support. So like when people are looking at goal weight, so often they'll be like, oh, I want to weigh 150. Like that same person will say that. And I'm like, but that would mean you only have 10 pounds of fat left on your body and you wouldn't be alive. And like, you would have to do so much dieting, workout, and cardio to get there. And like, So it's so important to have your numbers like what Christina did, because like, say her goal weight was below what her lean muscle is. Like, you're not going to get there unless like you shut down your metabolism, you lose muscle, it just doesn't happen. So the only way we ever get people down there is like on contest time. And our competitors will tell you, when you get down to the final like 4 to 6 weeks, you're losing like a pound of fat to a pound of muscle, pound of fat, pound of muscle, maybe 2 pounds of fat and 1 pound of muscle, but like you're losing. You can't control. You can't just say, oh, I only want to get rid of the bad stuff and keep the good stuff. Like at a certain point, like it's pulling away from both. So that's a good observation. Is
Your
like
body's in survival mode.
Yeah, a perfect way to describe it. Shelly just shared her pictures this week of her contest time, but I mean that's it. It's like you're not going to get below what your skeleton is. You're not going to get below what your organs weigh, your skin weighs, your muscles weigh. Like all that stuff's still going to be on you. And if you still want to have a womanly, Leslie just grabbed her chest before I even got to it. If you still want to keep your womanly parts, Leslie just did a full-fledged. But yeah, if you still want to have your butt and boobs and thighs and whatever, like those are essential fat. So, you know, ladies are always going to have about 7% higher percentage points than what a guy will. So like if 3% or 4% or whatever it is considered essential for men, it's like 10 or 11% is considered essential for women. And like, that doesn't mean like you can get below that. That means like essential to like survive and like not have your organs damaged in a car accident and like that type of stuff. Like it's protecting you. So anybody else on that real quick? Cause we'll go into calories. So the whole idea is like, if that's your weight, you want to support those calories with that weight. So like you want to eat for the 140-pound person that's remaining. You don't want to eat for the 200-pound person. So that's where like you take the cardio example, like we gave Leslie, it's like, all right, so if you did 200 minutes of exercise last week, and like if you actually were tracking macros and say you did 1,500 times that, let's say you did 10,000 calories last week and you did 200 minutes of activity and you lost 1 pound. Well, you know, that's going to be like your rate of what you're going to lose. So if you repeated that for the next week, you should lose 1 pound again. But what happens is when we hit that plateau, most of us want to take more food away. But what we've never done is remeasure and calibrate our body fat to see if we actually gain more muscle in that time. Because if we're 4 more pounds of muscle or 5 more pounds of muscle, but we continue to eat less, what's going to happen to that muscle? It's going to dissipate. And then your calorie range, now you have to actually eat less to support your body as opposed to more. And like, that's where you start shutting down your metabolism and people hit plateaus. So normally when people are stuck, you have them eat more, and it's normally from protein. And once they raise their calories to a certain level, then you can start maybe tapering off carbs or fats. But like, it's always ramping up your calories to where it should be, making sure you're hitting your protein number and let the fats and carbs fall in its place. And then you can start tweaking once you have like a set number. But consistency, it really comes down into it. Somebody raised their hand. I saw or talked.
I despised this scale. I hated this scale. I couldn't stand it. I had to dust it off, but now I weigh every day, and I can go up 3 to 4 pounds in a day because I retain fluid. So it is helpful for me to see, but it's frustrating because I don't lose. So when you were talking about, I forgot her name, that walks so many steps, that's her norm to maintain. So I figured because I work out 6 days a week, that's what keeps me maintained. So this week I did 2-a-days, but I just can't lose weight. And I've tried less calories, more protein.
So you did 2-a-days. Did you increase your food intake?
No.
Okay, so that could kind of be it too. So what I would say is, again, like we make very quick decisions, and Tina, nothing with that. I mean, hustle is always the way to go. Like when in doubt, hustle more, but like sometimes it's not always the right answer. But if you took your average, say you're doing 6 days a week, let's call it 40 minutes, Tina, for you. Like say you're doing a finisher, say like 240 minutes a week. Well, you just double that to 480 now for the week. But like, did you eat enough protein to support the recovery? Or now is your body just running on fumes of like basically whatever? So, you know, that comes into it too. Just tracking, guys. You know, I'm the worst to say this. Like we've actually made our entire like clients, they all have a spreadsheet with each one of your names and who they've reached out to and all that stuff. And like, guys, we don't even follow up with that. It's so hard to stay consistent with tracking things. Like, that's why there's a few people with a unique skill set that are great at spreadsheets and some of that stuff, like Miss Kathy, who's helping us. But it really comes down to like, you track how you need to track. Like for Christina, it might be just doing her MyFitnessPal every day and stepping on that scale every day. And that might be it. And that way, you know, if she gets into a spot in 2-3 weeks where she's a little emotional, maybe she didn't lose what she thought or is quick, she'll have data to go off of. But I think a lot of times we're just like, oh, I'm just going to go harder. I'm just going to do more. I'll do more cardio. But it needs to be that steady ramp up. So like what it might be, Tina, for next week, and it's, you know, of course I have nothing wrong with double days, but what you might want to do is just start throwing an extra shake after one of those. Like that might be the nutrients to support it. But when you get back to work, it might just be doing an extra 10 minutes of a finisher each day. And so that 10 minutes times 6 days is now you added in a 60-minute extra workout for the week, but you didn't add in 6 extra 30-minute workouts for the week. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shelly made a great point. I mean, when we're talking with Everybody Move Now, but I forget who it was talking to, but like, oh, Leslie, but just adding in those 5-minute more, 10-minute more, like those finishers make such a difference. And you got to remember too, it's like, even if you just started a little early, like maybe if your warm up actually got your heart rate up to where the workout does, then your workout almost becomes like the extended finisher. And then you do another finisher. Like, so that's another way too, but I would extend rather than double up on things in the beginning, at least. Yep. So Tina, let's go on that. When have you noticed the scale goes up and when does it go down? Are there certain things you eat or is there certain times of the day?
In the morning it's down, but then at night it's up. So whatever I've done all day, and then at night and in the morning I get up, it's back down.
Yep. Okay, that's normal then. Yeah, so it's just you accumulating like fluid and drinking and stuff through the day. What I would look for too is like if you wake up in the morning, you're actually heavier than the day before, look at what you ate in the last couple hours before bed.
It's okay.
A lot of times it might be high fibrous, it might be high sodium, it might be high saturated fat, but it's something that's still sticking with you. And those are kind of the 3 things that take the longest to break through the body is like sodium, saturated fat, and fiber. So, you know, you can always look at that. Like if you had your double heaping Lore peanut butter spoon like before bed, you know, that could be it. That's salty, that's saturated fat, it's fiber, it's everything all together. So sometimes, you know, looking at consistency from morning to morning to morning is better than morning to night, obviously, because you're always going to be a little bit heavier at night. Anybody else got anything? What's going on? Sharon, I'm going to dare you, double dog dare you to unmute your microphone and say something. Anyway, anybody else have anything going on? Caitlin, it was cool to see you this, or I guess early in the week. You're muted. We did that because your mom talks.
I actually muted us. So.
How are you doing, Caitlin?
Good.
Yeah. Workout consistency good?
I mean, thanks to my mom, yeah. Otherwise, I want to get.
I know. She's living and breathing these online workouts. I love it.
I was yelling at her this morning.
About showing up to 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
Just drag her by her feet.
Well, I don't want her to hurt herself.
Do the military ice bucket while she's just sleeping. Just splash it right on her.
Oh,
and video it. Video it if you do that.
Well, I can't hold the ice bucket and do that at the same time.
Just prop it up against something. Be resourceful. You're smart. Who's doing a talent show tonight? Anybody?
That's at 8 o'clock.
I'll watch.
Right, I love it. Caroline's my one. Mary Beth, you know, you talked to me last week. You had a full week to work out your lighting.
But we never tested it.
Just go outside, turn a light on. You're fine. We did some problem solving last week. She's like, I don't have lighting outside. I'm like, can you take a lamp and plug it in outside? She's like, oh yeah, it's great. So I have faith in you. We'll get this done.
And then hopefully the music from my phone you can hear on the computer.
Yeah, and if you just let me know what song too, if you message that to me, I'll try and make sure I have it ready as a backup just in case.
Well, it's sort of not really a song. It's like something that the band played. I mean, It is a song, but it's a different. I don't know. If
it's available online, just let me know and send me the link. But yeah, I know Kelly Hanley, Ellie Barubi. Who was the other? Somebody else needed something for a dance routine. So I think as of right now, we have like 5 or 6 acts, guys. So if you can tune in tonight at 8, it should be cool. Shelly, are you gonna do a talent?
I got nothing.
Ellie's on squats, man. I tell you what.
She's carrying a baby. That's a talent.
Right? Yeah, I don't mean to use it as an excuse at this point, but like even speaking sentences and words are hard. So I'm just hanging in there, but I will be there in full support of everybody and their talents.
Ashley wants to be the Simon Cowell, so like she's already prepared for that. We were sharing videos of like the top Simon Cowell like insults or whatever. Oh my God, they're so awful, some of them. So Ashley is fully prepared with a wide array of insults for people.
That's
The key is if it can come out the same way and she can actually pronounce it all. But anybody else got anything? So we are in like full house hunt mode. We've been like going back and forth. So like Shelly's been like the researcher to the max. We've been playing with our emotions with Sherry, but she's messaging us right now. But we've been packing bags. We got car seats in the car. Like we're planning everything to like have our life turned upside down in a week. So we are full of excitement. And now with the gym reopening, our plate is rather full for the next 7 days.
Gosh. If you guys need any help, just ask.
Jeannie, thank you. Because you said, yeah, that's so cool.
Us too. Can you help?
Oh, I'm like, where is Jeannie?
I'll help. I'm close.
Aw, it's so
I came home and said something to Shelly yesterday, and it really like kind of switched our mindset. But I spent probably, was I gone for 2 hours yesterday, Shell? But
Can you unmute me like permanently? I have to keep on.
Yeah, you're unmuted. Just don't remute yourself. But I spent like 2 hours in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot with Richard and Don Felix last night. It was just really cool spending some time with them. And those of you who've been with us a little bit longer, like just awesome people. Like he's a lieutenant, she's a principal. But I mean, their heart and soul is in like this community and everything. And it was just kind of cool talking to them. But Jeannie had asked, you know, can I help with anything? Julie's met some people, and I just like, yeah, whatever. Like even Dawn the other day, she's like, if I had an address and I wanted to get you something, how would I get it? And I just completely changed the subject and ignored her. And so anyway, she sent me a message. I'm going to send the police after you, which of course her husband ended up finding us. And yeah, so he's like, I can either come to your house right now, or he's like, do you want to meet someplace? So we did. But anyway, she made a really good point that like, never turn down someone else's blessings. And it was something that I guess I needed to hear. And she put it in this way. She's like, you're always doing things for other people. And she's like, sometimes that one thing they want to do back is like the thing that makes them feel whole. And like, when you turn them down and shoot them down, like you're not sending the message you think you're sending. So if I have shot you guys down, like Laura, I know you're pointing at me right now. Laura, I shot you down. Jeannie, I kind of shot you down too. It's nothing personal, guys. It's something I'm working on. But that was like a whole, Shelly, you're muted again. And I promise I didn't mute you.
I think she did it.
I think so too.
No, okay. No, we're both working on that. I mean, even on a small,
it's so hard.
I left my doctor's appointment and went and got dog food for our dog Olive, and I like look at it, it's like a 45-pound bag of dog food. I'm like, I can do this. Like, I got this. And I literally proceed to pick it up, and then I realize it's the wrong dog food, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I don't want to back down the aisle with this big Anyways, I literally had to ask for help, and a little part of me died, because I was like, and then God, I'm 9 months pregnant. I should really take the help, but it's hard for us to ask for help, so hopefully we will reach out to everybody in the next couple weeks with things, but we're here to help, you know, everyone else. And that's what, I guess that's my love language, or not love language, but
it is, yeah.
So it's weird to, when people ask for, you know, what can we do? It's just a weird thing. So
when we did, go ahead. I didn't interrupt. Go ahead.
I'm an excellent.
It's a blessing to the people that are offering the help. They're feeling blessed by being able to help you. So
there you go. No, and I've never looked at it in that perspective, Mary Beth. Guys, something cool, just a little project to learn about yourself if you want. There's an app called Love Nudge, Nudge, but it's actually from the people who wrote the book, The 5 Love Languages. And it's like a little test, and like Michelle and I did it, the staff did it. Actually, they're not on here, so I can say, but Rollo and Ashley, when they were together, they did it. And it really tells you how to communicate, but it also tells you like what your things are. And so like for me, it's like doing acts of kindness and doing whatever. But like when it comes into what I appreciate, like when it comes to acts of kindness and people doing for you, I was like 1% or 2%. Like when like Shelly's like, can I help you with this? I'm like, no, I got this. Like when it's like, so like with Kathy and Nicole and Ashley, like I'm really trying to like learn how to like delegate and feel comfortable with like letting go control. But like, it is not something that fuels me and motivates me to receive it like gifts, I guess. Like that is not my thing. It's all about like, I guess, I forget what it's actually titled, but it's acts of service and acts of kindness that like is my love language. So same with Michelle. It's like we were both, I want to say I was like 1%, she was 2% on like gifts or like people doing things for you. So it is, guys. It's when you start noticing you have like some character flaws and you do like a test like that, you realize why. So again, if I've shot you down, Laura, if I shot you down, Jeannie, if Julie Hall, there's been some people, and I never had that perspective until last night. So I'm very sorry, but oh, Michelle kicked herself out of the meeting, and she's coming back. But I'm very sorry. Anyway, is the whole point of that. But thank you guys. Shell, did I kick you off? Oh, now she's connecting audio. Hi, Shell. And she's muted.
No, my phone died, so you know I should have had a story of my life. Anyways.
Too funny. But yeah, guys, that would be really cool. So a couple things for your homework for this week. Go through, calculate all the total minutes that you exercised for the week, see what it was, and like, you know if you did well or did poor, but like either try and beat that or try and maintain that for next week, and do that Love Nudge. Like I said, it's a free app in the App Store. Love Nudge, Nudge. Like Kathy and Caitlin, you guys do it in your own house. Like you might like have something that you get so annoyed with her with, and she might have something. And when you actually like do that test, you're gonna be like, because it tells you how to communicate to each other. And it's like, you're going to see there's going to be certain things that are like, oh my gosh, like that's why. And that's why she hates this. Or that's why she gets annoyed at this. But it's helped us communicating with our clients. It's helped with everything. So it's really good. Kathy, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
I'm going back to Fitness Pal. If I send you what I ate, like for the week, a day or whatever, can you check the calories? Because it seems like a lot. Like
so,
something.
Yeah. Do you know the screen that we were using for the check-in challenge? So if you go to the nutrients page,
yeah,
do that one and screenshot that to me.
Nutrients. Okay.
Yeah, and you can send even the daily meal logs, but make sure you send that nutrients total page.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing with any of you guys. Like Christina, that's how we got it. I think you only sent it, what, 3 days in a row?
Like a week. Yeah.
Okay, it seemed faster than that. But like, guys, so for a week, she sent me her logs, and like, she's been on cruise control now for almost like 3 weeks. So like, same thing, like send those things over. Like Laura will tell you with like the coaching group. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else who's done coaching. No, but like Laura will tell you, you think you got it and you don't. And like, all you need is just a little feedback from somebody who sees it a lot of times. And it's like, oh my God, that's all I had to do. And so like, quit trying to, figure everything out on your own. That's like, at least, again, my love language. Let me help you, damn it. But yeah, absolutely, Kathy. I'm happy to.
Okay.
He's a thick
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so cool too, because like of course I saw Jeannie smile at that, but it's like, sometimes it's like adding one egg and like your whole numbers work for the whole day, and you're like, you were trying to like redesign your whole entire way of eating, and like
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, no, and again, so like for you, like you do a Dunkin' every day, it might be just swapping out like the size of something, or hey, do this. There's so many things that we do repetitive that when somebody else can see it, we're like, oh, that's it.
She's not going to do that. She already tried.
We'll figure something out, Caitlin. It might be from another part of her day.
Smaller size doesn't work. Almond milk doesn't work. Black doesn't work.
Go away.
I was going to say, or she just does 2 of Saturday's finishers each week, and that way she has her dance routine that she loves, and see, that makes you happy. Anybody else got anything going on?
Yes, hands.
All right. I'm getting messages from Sherry. It looks like we're going to be going to look at places, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll keep you posted. Like, we have an appointment for next Friday night at the hospital, so I might not see you guys next Saturday morning, but we will 100% keep you posted. Michelle, will we go live from the room?
We'll be waiting for that.
He fears me. Michelle, I don't hear you. Nothing's coming out. Damn her, I don't know what's happening.
Now can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
No, he will not be going live from the hospital. Aw. Don't need a watch party. We don't need, like.
Oh, a watch party. That's a great idea.
Oh.
Let's schedule that.
Oh, Kelly, I'm so sorry.
Talent show.
No, too much.
Too much. All right, guys. Well, have a happy Saturday. Calculate your total minutes of exercise for the week. Go to that Love Nudge. I think those are 2 good follow-ups that'll make your heart feel right this weekend. And we'll see you tonight for the talent show.
Is swimming count?
Thank
Swimming
you,
absolutely
Derek
counts.
and Shelly, for all that you've been doing for us.
You told me did it count?
Of course. I don't know who said that, but yes, you're welcome.
That's my daughter.
What's your name?
Natalie.
You are Natalie. Okay, I was going to ask that because the name says Christina Natalie. Yes, of course swimming counts. Just don't stop swimming. Just keep swimming. All right, guys. See you later. Both Leslie, see you, Mary Beth, Jeannie, Laura, Caroline,
Bye.
Sharon, Kathy, and Caitlin. See you guys.